But question number two, Eli, is going to be a little bit of a conspiracy theory question for you, and it's is coronavirus real?
Coronavirus real? Dang. I think it is real. I think even if people think it's a made up story, or I think it's real by virtue of the fact that lives have been affected by it, whether there is a virus or not, or people actually dying by this virus or whatever from this virus. I think families have been affected. Yeah. Churches have been affected. Everyone's been affected. So in a way, it's real to some. It's everyone. You know, I have personal friends that have lost family members due to, you know, and that's what the death certificate says, coronavirus. And so for me to dismiss that, I think one of the things that I have to learn, and I've learned quick on this part, was, which wasn't fun, but sometimes when you're, I guess, a district youth director, you have to always make sure that you're constantly thinking about everyone else's, you know, perspective on this. And although I'd like to say, man, that was a great video on how this is a hoax and this is fake and this is like not, but then I have to be careful not to share that, because a friend of mine lost a family member to it. And, you know, is that what the DYD, you know, so, but I think, you know, whether people think this is a real virus or this is a conspiracy that the government is trying to use to get everybody vaccinated, and the mark of the beast is going to have one. We need a certificate on our arm saying that we got the vaccine. I think honestly, I think it's a real thing because lives have been affected, and we as a church need to just be more sensitive to that, and just in that ask God for wisdom as to how we can love people in a way that it's tangible, because I think more than ever now people are looking for a tangible way of communicating with each other. And I love what you guys are doing, distributing food every now and then on weekends, and seeing you guys actually providing for those who need food. I've been a recipient of that too. I've actually, my wife and I go to these places and get food because
that's awesome.
We're a full-time ministry, and you know, it's a blessing for us, and that's how we make it through. And so even though we're not sick, even though we didn't land in the hospital, thank God, but Corona has been real to us to a certain extent. And so, you know, I hope that answers your question, but you know, I don't know that if I want to dive into the conspiracy, because lives have been affected, period. So
yeah, I think you make a very valid point that even if coronavirus was not real, the impact it's had has been very real, and we've all felt it, right? We've all either had someone in our family lose something because of it. We've had someone die because of it. There's very real things that are tied to this whole coronavirus situation, and so the impact that it's had is for sure real. That is not fake. It is not a hoax. And the impact it's having on churches and young adult groups and youth ministry groups, and that is also very real. And mental health, bro, like mental health right now is huge, right? Because people are at home like going crazy. And so mental health is going to be a space that we are going to have to nurture tough. It was already there, and now it's going to be there sevenfold, you know? So mental health is going to be key in our pastoral journey, right? In our journey of guiding the sheep and guiding our members, and mental health is going to be one of those things for them. Right. That's great, Eli. I'm glad you shared that, and I'm glad that the food distribution aspect that the church is owning is having an impact. It's not just Templo that's doing it, right? There are many other churches that are stepping in for this moment, and I, for one, am extremely proud of that. Like, I am so proud that that churches have owned that time and that are out there feeding people. There's huge lines, bro, like huge lines of people. People are so much in need right now.
Yeah.
And those of us who have been blessed, like the least we can do is to bless back and give back, serve back. And we actually had a small like talk about that, and coronavirus has kind of made us all scared of going out and having interaction. But there's the people handing out the food are in the mix. Like they're literally putting their lives in danger to
Yeah.
help the community. And so that's the
That's
church,
a
man.
beautiful, that's a beautiful, yeah, that's a beautiful image of the church, that we're not necessarily out there protesting this as if it's a conspiracy, but rather the church takes the role of aiding the ones who are in need, the vulnerable, the ones who are being affected by this. On whether this is, again, real or not issue, we've all been affected by it, and the church steps in the gap and saying, listen, we're here to help you in a tangible way. And I think seeing that, and seeing, saints, people, the community, the church community, go out there and putting their lives at risk to help people is probably the most effective evangelism tactic that I can ever probably think of. Because, you think about the stories of Jesus when he touches the guy who had leprosy. He touched him before he healed him, meaning he understood that the guy who had leprosy needed a human touch, because he was also hurt. He was in need of something beyond just physical healing. So I think you guys as a church get it, and I think that's a beautiful thing, and I applaud you guys. And it's the best way of, I think, to evangelize the community, just to show up and be like, hey, we're here, and we're trusting in God in this. And I do believe that you guys will see the benefits of this. And I know that you guys are not doing this to get more people to come to your church. I know that, but there is a reward in that. And I think people will support your church more than ever.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that this is gonna this horrible situation is gonna be used by God to strengthen the church, and I'm excited for that. I think that whether church resumes back to normal or it never does, that there will still be a way to talk about Jesus and preach the word of God. And handing out food is preaching, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
That's tangible preaching, and so that I love it. I love that.